Good day to you, lovely souls. Welcome everybody to Mark Bajerski Tarot Workshop. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. Just had a lovely morning working with these beauties. Look at them. Beautiful quality amethyst. So that's been lovely working with them. Now leading nicely onto this tarot workshop that I'm happy to share with you guys of the understanding of 2 decades of tarot cards that I've worked with, which is the Karl Rohrig deck, German artist, placed into my hands many years ago by my first mentor. So that said, it's a beautiful day. It's gorgeous. I mean, the sun is literally, well, you can see outside, right? The sun is beautiful. It's gorgeous. So I've just sat out there for a few minutes to get some sun on my skin, because sun heals the mind, heals the body, and it's a necessity. It's kept me sane over these 22 years of living on top of this magical mountain. How you all doing anyway? You don't interact, Mr. Bajerski. No, I know I'm not very good at interacting, especially when trying to read out your message. But yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Deanna. Good morning. Good morning, Leila. Good morning. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, beautiful souls. Thanks for joining me. So listen, I'm not massive into chit chat. I'm more into the guiding and teaching and getting the message out. But I totally understand that sometimes it's nice to interact. Well, I will be doing tonight at 7 o'clock. I'll be interacting and actually giving you a one-to-one short reading, giving you the information of what crystal I feel is going to work best for you tonight, with a message of what that crystal will actually do for you personally. And that's a pretty awesome thing to receive. So that's tonight at 7 o'clock. But here is one of the reasons why I'm doing tonight at 7 o'clock, because I actually use these cards as well. But they're not cards. Cards are interesting. These cards are interesting. Why? Because I've used many different types of cards, and many people used to ask me, why are you using the cards when you haven't even read them? And I said, well, I'm not per se a tarot reader, because a tarot reader, when you read like the Way deck and all of those decks, you normally focus on whether it's the coins, whether it's the cups and so on. So, and then you look at, how many, and it gives you an idea of what you're actually going to read. But if I went like that to you and said, come on, man, what does that mean? If you are somebody who has been trained in that old way of reading and understanding them, they'll throw you off. You won't understand, and that's because you get trained to know a certain card and what it has significance of. That doesn't mean that you stick with it. lots of readers just have a glance and think, okay, this is what this is about, but let me look deeper. And then they start to channel, which is very similar to these. The thing is with these, I don't really look at how tarot speaks to me. I look at imagery. I look at what's going on. I look at the color. I look at whatever speaks to me. And the tarot cards speak to me in various ways. I never look at a tarot card and read the same message for you as I would somebody else, because when I look at the cards, they speak to me differently. They kind of give me images, and that is just the starting point to be able to flow. So I guess for me, I was always somebody like, well, why aren't you a medium? You know, why don't you just practice mediumship and get? That's because it's not something that I wanted to do. And these cards were perfect. My mentor knew I'd be able to read these cards. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And it is to this day. Yesterday, I turned a card over for a friend. And it was incredible because I saw a tongue. And then I saw 3 tongues, 4 tongues. There's no 4 tongues on there. I don't even think there is a tongue. I'm like, there's milk. There's milk and there's tongues. There's 3 or 4 tongues. So I just like, as I used to read, I don't know what I'm looking at here, but I'm looking at milk, and I'm looking at a lot of tongues. Something's going on in your life with a lot of milk and tongues. And she's like laughing. She says, I've just found a litter of kittens. You don't get that with Way decks. You don't see that in Way decks because it restricts you to a certain degree. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying this is different. So it's fascinating. And my first mentor, you know, I used to go up the stairs to a house and she was on the phone, and she was speaking to FBI, all of these huge police corporations in America that needed help. And she used to specifically deal with lost bodies, because there's a lot of occult goes on in America, a lot. And she used to look through the cards and tell them where it were. And I remember she was going to, when she was here, I said, where are you going? She says, I'm off to Cannes. I says, oh, what for? She says, to walk on the red carpet. And I says, oh, you look excited. She says, oh, yeah, it's fun. And I'm like, okay, what are you going there for? She said, oh, I just read for a director. And I said, oh, wow. And what, the director's inviting you to the film? She says, yeah, but I'm part of the film. And I said, why is that? She says, because the director went on a hunt to find some lost artifacts. And it was a documentary. And I read for him and told him exactly where the artifacts were, which was in between 2 stones. And he'd have to put his hand in. And she explained exactly where the stones were. And the guy did. And it was all filmed and it was live. And he stuck his... well, it wasn't. It was filmed. And he stuck his hand in this little box. And inside this box, there was artifacts. So she was part of the film as a thank you, really, to say thank you for finding these. I thought that was nice, but it never really resonated with me. I never got too excited about that. And for me, I was more interested in helping people who were sick. And the reason why is because my mum died of cancer and there was nothing I could do. I watched her die. And I think it's always stuck with me, that wanting to help people feel better. So if you ask me what I decided to do in tarot, was I decided to help people, and help people in a way that not find where your keys are for your car, or where you dropped your wallet or your phone, but how to heal you on a physical, mental and emotional. Now, I don't tell people what to do. When you read these cards, you do what you want. If it makes you happy doing that, follow it. Follow whatever makes you happy, what gives you the most joy. So for me, when I read these, I'm going to read these with the with the energy of 1, how I can help you right now. 2, try to find the reason why you're stuck. 3, try to find the reason why you're so sad. 4, ask the bigger questions. Why are you feeling this way? If it is somebody who's making you feel this way, let's try and find out why that person is making you feel this way. Is there something physically wrong with you? If there is, what is the root cause to that? How can we start to change that root cause to clear it and heal you so you feel better? I didn't go down the path of mediumship, although there were times that I couldn't help myself but saying, your dad's here, your dad's in the room, come out from nowhere. Your mum's here, your sister's here, your best friend's here. And it just came out that way. So people used to say, you're not just a psychic, you're a medium. Like, I don't want to call myself psychic or medium. I just want to call myself somebody who can try and help you. I don't know whether what I'm saying is right or not, but I'll share it with you. And if it makes any sense to you, then if you've got something from it and it helps you, then that's what I want to do. So that's the basis of my cards, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So how I recognize certain things in the cards is because of colors. So colors and brightness and lightness. So let's just say I want a yes or no answer, right? Just say I'm thinking about moving to another country. If it's a light, if there's a lot of light in that card, for me, it's more of a yes answer. It's more of a positive answer. If it's very dark, then it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So it's not really a yes or a no, because I don't like that too much. I like to know why it's yes and no. But some people like it quick. So I'm about to bring out a book, and it's all about how to read flowers. So is there anything I need to know about this book? I'll hold the card up. Okay, so the card's telling me it's gonna appeal to women. It's gonna appeal to strong women, but it's gonna help women become stronger. It's gonna help them see themselves. It's gonna help them feel good. It's gonna make them strong. That's it. So I put that down. That's how quick it is, and that's a good sign. Okay, now let's just say I picked up this card, okay, which I didn't. That was at the bottom of the deck. I've just pulled that out. If I pick this up, okay, there's some problems coming on. There's some things that I'm not sure about. Some things I don't see clear. There's a man there with his head down. That means I'm not sure. And then it says not clear. And then it says sorrow. And of course, you can look at the swords and there might be some problems here. Okay, so from seeing that, I'm going to then say, what are the problems? Take another card. Okay, so I'm not in control of it. I'm not in control myself. I'm not in the driving seat. That's the problem. I'm not in control, which means that somebody else has taken control. So if I was reading for you, you might go, oh yeah, I've left it to somebody else to deal with. I'm not really in control of it. So you can see now you're building a picture of certain things that you might want the answer to. And going to psychics and going to, people like that costs a lot of money. When you learn yourself, it'll save you a fortune. And also it can give you great information. So let's have a look at somebody. Okay, we'll pick on Alan today. So Alan, if you're sat in front of me now, Alan, and just give me a yes if you want me to just share something with you that I might see in your cards. Okay, and if you're happy for me to share it, I'll hold the card up and talk to everybody in front of it. Okay, 1, I don't ever give bad information. 2, I never see death. I only see life. And that's how I work. So there's nothing to fear when I give a reading, when I used to give readings. So I just need a yes. Thanks. So if I'm like, I've closed my eyes now and I'm just in my thoughts, okay, in my, trying to get the right word here, in my focus, I'm actually asking at the same time, but not direct, but just putting it out there. How can we help Alan? How can we make Alan's life happier? Is there anything that you can help us with? So I turn a card over and show this. So if I was reading for Alan now and he was over there, I'd say, Alan, there's a lot of love around you, a lot of kindness and caring energy. For me, it feels like the spirit world rather than people in general. But I'd also say that that love, that energy of red that I see around you is really healing, is really healing you, is helping you every day. And as I see this and I feel this energy around you, I feel that your blood is getting stronger. It means that your heart is getting stronger. So whatever you're doing, you're doing something right. Whatever path you're on, whatever journey, whatever your focus is, I'd say you're following your truth. You're following love. You're following what makes you happy. You're starting to focus on yourself at this particular part of your life. So it might be the past some years, but it looks like it's a continuation. It looks like you're on a beautiful path of love. You really are doing well. So this is a credit to you. It's a credit to who you are and the focus that you give. It means that you are a giver. You are, because you can only receive love when you give love, and that's who you are. So you're a good soul. You're a good one. So it's a confirmation by, I believe, the spirit world that they love you and are proud of what you're doing. And don't stop. Just keep going, because this is the journey that one day you will look back and see it. This part of your life was the most important. So you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right, and you're following your heart, your truth. And the times that you contemplate and sit and wonder about things, this is what we should all be doing now. So the contemplation of life, the understanding of life, the seeing life is all connected to the spirit world, all connected to this higher energy that gives us the information. And of course, red is the color that you should be using or eating right now, because it's a signature. So eat strawberries, eat tomatoes, eat red peppers, eat anything red as health. So that's also very powerful and good for you. So you see, guys, and thank you for letting me read for you, Alan. Just a short little read. It's a beautiful card, but look how much we got out of that card. I could have continued, by the way. It could have been a lot more personal. I could have said a lot more things that I held back for, but I just wanted to give a lovely little message. I could have gone much more into detail, but when you're doing this in front of people, you've got to have respect. You've got to understand that, you know, some things are between the reader and the client. So this is important. So there you go. So you can see how one card, I used to read for people with one card. I used to read people with no cards, and then I used to read people with every card. I just keep going. So the fear of a lot of readers is, oh, why am I reading too many cards? I mustn't be very good. You read as many cards as you want, as long as the message is out there. Shut your ego up. Shut up, ego. Shut up what your teachers tell you. Follow what feels right. Don't be bound by teachers telling you the right and the wrong way, because there is no such thing whatsoever of right and wrong. The only thing that you know is what feels right to you when you're giving a reading. Always read with the understanding that what you would want, you give. Not a lot of readers give but wouldn't want it. So be mindful and be kind. But you know, really, when your aim is to read for somebody to find resolution, to read for somebody to find the answer, I tell you what, you can't go wrong. Actually, just them two things alone, if that is your focus, then everything else is fantastic. If you want to read for ego, then you're going to get yourself into trouble. Or don't go, oh, he looks terrible. Get rid of him. He's awful. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Yeah, you're sad. I can see you're sad. I can see you're sad there. I can see he's not doing very well because his mind, all his cogs are all over the place, which means he's not functioning on all four cylinders. I can see that quite clearly. I can see there's maybe a little bit of evil taking place. I can see a breast there. I can see the darkness, and I can see your sadness. I can see all that. Yeah, I could easily say, don't leave him. But let's say what? But let's hang on. Let's have a look. Why? Why is he like that? So I'll take another card and ask why. Here's another card. We'll ask why. It's because whatever's going on in his mind is trapped between these two rocks. He just can't get out of his mind. Whatever's in his mind is causing him the suffering. And the answer to his suffering is in his mind, which needs to be healed. How long is it going to take for him to be healed? It looks like it's going to be another 6 months, maybe. Just see how it feels to you. If you say 6 weeks and it just comes out, then that's probably right. If you're hesitant, then, could it be 6 years? I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like it's 6 years, but it could be 6 months. So now the lady sat next to me thinking, okay, so I've got another 6 months to deal with this, but it says that he actually gets better. And what happens after the 6 months when he gets better? Looks like you might be moving, because there's a key there, and it looks like you might be moving to land. And it looks like that you're actually moving. So wherever you're moving to and whatever you've moved from, you've actually got some wealth. So you've got some money. It kind of looks like you're quite close to the sea as well. So it looks like if you do stay together, it looks like it's going to be okay. Next card, it looks like you're getting help from your father, whether it's your father in the spirit world or this world. I can see that there's a lot of love coming forward and there's a lot of healing taking place. And if I look at this card and I put the two together and think, okay, the light is where the father is giving, that's coming down from the father, and that's where the healing's taking place in the man in his mind. So they're very, very possibly your dad could be giving healing and helping the man. Now you might say to me, what can I do to help my husband? I turn another card. You can buy him some flowers. You can buy him a flower. You can buy him some flowers, and you can just sit and listen to him. And you can help in little ways, little tiny ways. You can help, telling him that he's a good father, telling him every day, reassuring him and telling him that he's a good soul, and that you love him because of all of his natural nature, the way he is. He's just natural, and he's just a good person, and he is loyal, and he's a hard worker. Just out of interest, do you tell him? No, I don't. I just don't. I don't want to tell him anymore. I'm just so upset with the way he's behaving. Well, maybe if you change that in yourself and try and find the love that you had for him before, maybe you'll find that he changes through your change. And I don't think he's strong enough to change himself. I think because of what he's been through. And you might say, what has he been through? I take a card, another card. He's been through frustration. He's had it very difficult in life. He's always been a man who's been fighting to get to the top. So he's felt a lot of anger. He's always been let down. He's always tried to, get to somewhere where he struggles to get to. So his work has never been, let's say, very easy to get to the top. And it's caused him pain and suffering. And it's not you. It's nothing to do with you. It looks like it's to do with his life and work and his ambitions never never showed themselves. So he feels frustrated in his work. And then you say, yeah, he's so frustrated in work, and it's true. He wants to do better so he can bring more money home. And he's just angry at work, and angry because he just doesn't think he's going to get promoted. And he just thinks he's just wasting his way. So then I would say, well, let's have a look at that. And let's see what can we do to help him. Take this card. It looks like you're the one who can help him. It looks like you can give him the confidence. You can give him the love. You can give him the reassurance. You can give him great ideas. You can give him the necessary tools he needs through your ability, your power, your intuition, your healing, your life force can help him become as powerful as he wants. So now, from a woman leaving to now a woman realizing that it's not me that he hates, it's not me that he's angry about, it's his work. And maybe I need to help him a little bit. Maybe I should try and help. So then we give each other a cuddle, and then she goes. And then 6 months later, that she comes back with her husband hand in hand, who's laughing, who's got a wage rise, who's now at a position of management position. She comes upstairs, and I'm smiling, and it's like another person who's just come up these stairs, because this woman's now smiling. She's another woman. She's changed. Why has she changed? She's changed because of a set of a few freaking cards that we've just read gave her the strength to see things in a different way, the positive messages that will help her become the power that she always was, but she's forgot about because of the situation of her husband being down because of his job. But she knows this now. So she made the changes herself. And that day she went and bought him a red rose. And they sat down and they had a glass of wine and they talked, and she told him how beautiful he was and how special he was. And the next morning he went to work with a smile on his face, and the boss says, hey, you know what? It's time you had a wage rise, or it's time that we ask you to step into your own office and have the name in front of you, and it's time. And everything can change like that at any given moment for anybody. And I'm saying this because over 20 years of reading to thousands of people, I saw that miracle. Now, you could say to me, oh, you did that, Mark. No, I didn't. I just read some cards. That's all I did. I read cards. What they do with that is what they do with it. I didn't do anything. You did it. You took upon yourself to grasp the truth that came from them cards, not from my mouth. It wasn't my mouth. It was just energy coming out, and you embraced that energy and utilized it to make the change in your life, which then had a ripple effect that made a change in your husband's life. And now look at you. You both look like you're dating each other for the first time. Does anybody not understand how this works and how I work with the cards? Does it put you off? Does it kind of baffle you a bit? Or does it seem quite straightforward to you? Does it feel like this is how it should feel when I go for a reading? This is how it should be. Like you just started reading and it's like we're having a conversation. You know all about my life. It's like you know everything that's happening right now. I know nothing what's happening right now. I'm just reading the cards, but you're understanding it. And if you're understanding it, that's great. Now it can go another step. It can go another step. And that other step is when you are so confident, when you know that your cards work for you, then you get to a point where you say, please don't speak. And the reason why is because you don't want interruption. You just want to read everything for 1 hour and then stop and then look at your client and say, is there anything that you didn't understand that I've read for you for? And is there anything that you'd like me to look into in deeper detail? And I don't say this out of ego, because I don't have any ego. Yes, I get upset. If anybody's upset with me, I'm very sensitive, for sure I am. But it was normally about 90, this is the fairest way to say it, 90% to say that 90% of my clients would say, I got everything that I needed. There was 10% that liked detail. These are the ones that work in the mind. These are the top, highest levels of the smartest people you'd ever meet, who work in science, who work in mathematics. They're the ones who want more detail. So there'll be 10% that I'd say, okay, what, and they'd write it all down. It would all be written down or recorded. And then they say, okay, you mentioned so-and-so. Could you go into detail with this? So then I'd turn some more cards over and go into detail of that particular situation. And then after the reading, after that, any more questions? No, all good, all good. Give them a hug, see you later. Having a reading is something that shouldn't be lived on. It shouldn't be, it should be, okay, I've had my reading, it's all in here. I put it on a shelf and leave it there and lead my life. And if something does happen, that kind of like, wow, that's what Mark said might happen. Wow, that's what he said. Wow, that's fine. But don't live your life by it. Just live your life as you would normally after the read. Just lead your life and get on with your life. But don't live your life for the reading. That's a mistake. But I think when, I remember one guy who was, I didn't have many of them, but this one particular man was so challenging. He was an American, and in the 70s, he used to read for, he used to do paranormal psychic TV show, and it was world famous in America. Everybody watched it. So he was a super intelligent guy. He knew all the psychics in the world. Anyway, he came and sat with me and I gave him a reading. He never said anything, just gave him the reading. And he was blown away by the reading, totally blown away. And the problem with some people is when they hold on to the reading so much and they're waiting for what's going to happen, sometimes you already miss what you should have seen because you're too busy waiting for the kettle to boil. So I'm basically the water and the kettle, and you're waiting for me to boil after I've given you the information. No, you don't wait for me. You get on with your life and you lead your life. Now, some people, when you read for some people, they miss out certain important factors. Like, yes, you will meet somebody really beautiful, but you need to change a little bit. You need to change your ways a little bit. And funnily enough, we miss out that bit with some people when they get angry with you. And they don't change, and they get more angry and more aggressive and more difficult to be around. And they don't improve themselves, they just stay the same. Now, if you'd have listened to the message, I said that, well, there needs to be change in your life. You need to look at things differently. You need to be a little bit different. You need to be more calmer. You need to look at this and try and do this and try and do that. This is the message from the spirit world, that trying to help you heal from the suffering of the past. So the cards will give you the suffering from the past and tell you these are the things that you may be still suffering with that you might want to work on. And if you work on this, then you might meet somebody really beautiful who then spends the rest of your life. So it never worked out, the reading for this man, because he wanted it now. This is the problem with many people. They want it now. And there's nothing a reader can do about that. If somebody's stuck in their ways, it is the way it is. But remember, as a good reader, we're trying to help them. And to help somebody, you can't just say, oh yeah, this will happen in 6 months. That won't happen. That will happen. No, it doesn't work like that with me. I got to try and help you improve your life. So I stopped reading at one point. I just said, I can't do this no more. I'm exhausted. As most readers will tell you, it takes a lot out of you. I was doing a lot of work. I was traveling all over the world, and I had what's called a mini stroke, a mini heart attack. It's like, it could have been really bad, but it wasn't, because I healed myself and I decided no more readings. It was people were all the time, reading. I can't do any more. I'm exhausted. So I stopped. And this one guy who I read for that I'm talking about said some really nasty things because I wouldn't read for him. And he spent the rest of his years saying nasty things. So you don't do this work because of ego, because your ego will get knocked, because some people just won't listen to their message and only hear parts of it. And this is a good lesson for you guys to learn if you ever read for people. Most people don't listen. They only hear what they want to hear. Most of us have got selective hearing. So we can only give the message. So a question, ask me a question. Like, is there a question that you'd like to ask and see if the cards, you just look for a yes or no in the cards. Have you got a question? It might be that, or it might be, you know, I'm not feeling too good, Mark. I think there's something physically wrong with me. Is there something that I'm doing wrong? Is there something that I'm not eating right? Just ask me a question which is, it's not too personal, it's not too deep, just so we can just relax and make this light-hearted rather than too heavy, okay? Will I move? So here we go. Will I move? Okay, so I turn the card and I show them the card. So first of all, this card is showing me that there is what's called rope around the hand. And normally when I see rope around the hand, it's normally because something's stopping me. And it could be the mind's eye that's stopping me in the sense of what I'm fearing, what worries me or what worries other people. So there could be attachment of a move. So it could be that you're stuck and it looks like there's a chain there and it's holding you where you are. So it could very well be, without even knowing, that yourself could be holding yourself back because of what you really truly desire and want. There's a saying in this world that says, be careful for what you wish for. My beautiful staff member now is understanding this because she's been dying to get pregnant, and I've been doing videos on pregnancy and just relax and don't worry, it'll all come when it comes. Now it's come. She's whacked, she's knackered, she's white, the baby's draining her, she's exhausted. And I said to her this morning, be careful for what you wish for. No, she's very happy. But what I'm saying in this conversation, will you move? A lot of the times, there's two things always happening. There's one, we have to really question ourselves. Do we want to move, and where do we want to move to? For me, I always like to set my intentions right. So on a move, like I've got a property down there. Do I want to sell it? It's up for sale, but do I want to sell it? Do I really want to sell it? Right? Do I really want to sell it? If you ask me, do I really want to sell it? I'm not sure, because it's an office space. It's only a small office space, but if I get rid of it, I've got no more office space. So who's actually wanting to sell it and who's actually wanting to keep it? Right? Both of me. And if I sold it, I'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have sold it. So maybe the universe doesn't know what I want. And maybe the universe is keeping it where it is till something happens whereby, shit, I need to sell it, because if I sell it now, I can buy something else, or I can pay the tax off, or whatever it may be. Now it sells. So there is something with intention in this card. There is something about the intention of where you're going to move to. It's important to do your homework and know where you're going, and is it right? If it's a move out of this country, where you are, is it to another country? What's that country like? Is it a move to another part of where you live? What's the neighbors like? Is it a good place? Are you sure this is going to be right? Is it good for you? So the question is will you move? Right now, if you were to ask me, I would say at this moment, I don't think that you're going to move right now, or I might be wrong, but it looks like, it doesn't look that it's going to happen right now until other things are finalized and you understand about what you really want and where you're going and what you're going to lose when you leave and what you're going to leave behind. That's basically what I see in this card. So that's kind of like the way I would talk. So I didn't give you an answer really, but I did. So that's I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's only what I saw, and I do it out of love. I don't. It's not like, oh yeah, move. Oh no, don't move. That's not who I am as a reader, and that's, if you learn from me, I don't want you to be like that. I want you to put the power back into your clients so they make the decision to make the change that then you can smile at them and say, well done. No, you did that. I didn't do anything. I just placed upon thoughts and feelings and ideas, and for you to then embrace what felt right for you to move forward. There's nothing worse than somebody else leading your life, paving your way. There's nothing worse. If you do it yourself, then the experience and the strength that comes from within is incredible. So a reader should have utmost respect for that. So thank you so much for letting me just read for you. Somebody's asked another question about moving. I have to move. Will I find a good place? Okay, so this is a good card, and this is normally a card that says yes. It's a very positive card. And again, I would also say that taking responsibility, being in control of the move, doing your research and homework, being attuned, feeling nature for yourself. So wherever you move to, it feels a lot of nature around rather than concrete. There's natural rocks that I see. So as I see there's natural rocks, I see you becoming stronger wherever you move to because your third eye is getting stronger. I see wheat or barley, which is nature. So I also see in this card that you're healthier because of what you eat. I see all the pieces of you coming together. So I think the move will happen, and I think all the pieces will fit together at the right moment. And for me, there is no rush. It would be more natural. It would be a natural movement from one to another place. But I would definitely say it's very positive, and nothing to worry about, nothing to rush, and just allow that flow to take place. When things are meant to happen, they will happen, and they will happen right at that moment, and then everything will just flow. So wait till the moment comes and you will know when it happens. Don't rush it, because there's always a plan for us, I think, and your life will be fulfilled in an even greater path on your next move, and it will be very, very beautiful and very healing. So will my new business be successful? Always a nice thing. I'm going to go over to this side now, and I'm going to take this card. So this card to me is a card of patience. It's a card of time. And if you're looking at this lady here she's got no clothes on, so she's feeling vulnerable, but yet she's got all the information through this here, which is a natural ability. This is a great, powerful person. So you are very powerful. You're very natural. You shine a fantastic light. But like anything, things take time. And this is time. This to me is time. So it's going to take time. So is your business, will it be successful? Well, it depends what you mean by success. For me, I want to be able, let me ask that question again. Let's say if you're, so this card is a frustration card. Okay, it's frustrated. Now, the question that you asked is, will it be successful? In what way? What do you count as success? So I made a lot of money when my business started doing really well. A lot of money. Paid a lot of tax, but made a lot of money. Looking back now, is that classed as success? No, it's not. It's a nightmare, because now you have to pay more taxes. You have to worry about more staff. You actually, did I like it before when I was rapping here with Vanessa, me and her together rapping at the back here in this room, and going to post office, dropping them off. And I have to be honest, I actually enjoyed that more. And we weren't rich, but we had fun. It was great. Now there's more staff and there's more worries and more fears. So this card is a be careful for what you wish for. So success to me is every client gets their crystal, incense, oils on time. They're happy with it, and it's made a difference in their life. That to me is success, not how much money is going in my account. And if I'm looking at how much money is going in my account, then what am I doing it for? I'm not doing it for money. Now, as I look at this, I don't honestly, in my humble opinion, I think the last thing you should be thinking about is success, but more of keep going one step after another. Don't stop, just keep going. As I look at these cards, I also say, have an open mind to where your business takes you, because what you might think is your business now might evolve to something else. So as I look at these cards, I'm hearing and feeling that things can change because of what is put into our thoughts. Now, some people might think that's a great idea or a great opportunity, but to get to there, which I don't know what success means, but if let's say success there, you have to go from here to here to here to here to get to there. You're at this moment going through getting to where you're going to. So every step you're taking is in the right direction. But I would say, please be open, but stay focused. So be open to opportunity, but stay focused. Stay focused on what you believe you want to do and where you want it to go, but be open to new opportunities. That's kind of what I see. Don't get frustrated in life, and try and understand what you truly want at the end of this path and this journey. If it's about the money, if it's all about the money, I always find it, I have never met a millionaire who I've read for who did it for the money. They did it for the love. So the question I would ask you is, what is your business? Are you doing it for the love, or are you doing it for the money? For me, I'm a strong advocate of doing it for the love, and then the money comes after. So to finalize, I would say just keep going. I see the number 8 here, so it could be another 8 months and then see what happens, but just keep going. Try not to be frustrated. Try not to complicate your work at all. Try and simplify everything that you're doing. Don't overload yourself with different ideas and different thoughts every day. Stick to something nice and simple and follow that. And that is what I feel. So let me just try this one. Nash, will I get a new job soon? So this is an interesting card, because this card shows me, and what I'm looking at this card is, I see the green on top of the mind, and there's a key there. The key always is the answer to everything. And it means that a strong mind is the key, but a strong mind, and when I look at the color green, it means peace. So I always say, if I read for people, why is it the ones who always get the jobs are the ones that shine a light the most? Because if you want somebody to work for you, you don't want them to work for you because of maybe what their credentials are, because you actually also, more importantly, look at the person and say, could I actually work with this person? Can I actually sit and talk to them all day? My point being is that working on yourself in your mind, working on inner peace, brings forward a sense of, I like this person. I could work with this person. So when I employ somebody, I don't employ them for the credentials. I employ them for who they are, their energy. So the question is, how is your energy, Nash? Truthfully, how's your energy? And ask yourself this question and be honest. If you were to walk into a room and you were to be sat in the other seat, so there's two of you, would you employ yourself? Look at yourself and ask yourself, would I employ me? And look at yourself, would I employ this person? What benefits am I going to get out of this person? Are they a good person? Are they kind? Are they caring? Are they true to their word? Have they got a good energy? Have they got a good mind? Are they stable? Ask you, like, if I asked myself that question, if I went for an interview to work at the Pure Energy Healing Academy, and I came here for a job here, and I sat down next to myself, and like now I'm talking to you and say, hello, you're Mark, right? Yeah, I'm Mark. How you doing? Yeah, very well. So why have you come for the job, kind of thing? Just feels right, feels good, and I just fancied a change. And yeah, your place is beautiful, lovely energy. It just feels great. Just being honest and being truthful, not trying to butter anybody up or trying too hard, just being yourself. And you don't have to actually be in a room with somebody. You can type away on the typewriter, on your keyboard, and the same energy comes through. That's why you can't lie when you post. I know what you're feeling when you post on YouTube and on your Facebook accounts and wherever. I know who you are and what you're feeling, because you say everything in your words. So ask yourself, do you like yourself at the moment? There's been times over these 4 years I really hate myself because of what I've been posting, because I don't want to post that. I don't want to say things are bad outside and we need to look up at the sky and we need to look at what's going into these vials, right? So I wouldn't want to employ myself. So I think what I'm saying is, Nash, is that you have to prepare yourself for the position that you want. You've got to look at yourself and work on yourself to get to the position that you want. And then when you've worked on yourself every day, health, mind, body, exercise, focus on wonderful, good things, then I think it would be difficult for somebody not to employ you, because you've got a great energy. And energy doesn't lie. That's why some people just don't get jobs, because their energy is bad, and people feel that. So these are just some pointers from this card, what I got from it. So it's been lovely sharing a few messages with you. I hope you enjoyed this. So, of course, I am, and I have a tarot course. If you enjoyed this 1 hour, I also have a 10-hour tarot course, which is normally 250 euros. So right now, you will get this set of cards sent to you by DHL, which will come in 3 days. You get the tarot course online, which is 1 hour, 10 1-hour videos of me doing this, but going in deeply intense into each card. So then you get all the information about each card, and the courses and the cards and the DHL, all of that is now online. I've just put it online an hour ago for you if you want to do this course with me, if you've enjoyed this, and it's 120. So it's there if you want. If not, no problem. It was there, and it's out of love. And we've sold thousands of the courses, so it's not like I need anything, and I don't. It's just, it's nice if you can do something that helps others and helps yourself when you get stuck. And if anybody's ever done the course, maybe you could just put a few words down here, because it's all right me saying it, but I didn't do the course. I just led it. You'll know whether that course helped in any way, and if the cards help you to this day. And if you could just write that down in the chat box, what you got from it, whether it was good or bad, it doesn't matter. Share what you feel. I know the course wasn't perfect. It wasn't done in a studio. It was done very raw. It was done like this, and I did it at 7 o'clock at night till 8, and it was live with lots of people who were listening. So I had my camera pod here, and I had a card put, and then I changed it for another card and talked about that. And it wasn't as light as this. It was in this room, and it was facing, I think, over there. So you'll have seen over there, and it was a little bit darker. And the computer wasn't as good a computer as this one, so it didn't have the pixels, but it was raw, and it was me at my best. This, I'm not at my best because I don't read anymore. I'm just sharing what I learned over the years. But when I did that 10 hours, I did it when I was full on working. So you got the best out of me for them. You got 10 hours out of me. And the cards are 25 pounds. DHL is normally about 28 to 35. So if you add that up together, so you're getting the course at not a bad price if it's 120. Okay, so that's it really. I just wanted to share that with you. And yeah, I mean, the cards are in Spanish, but you're not looking at the cards. You didn't hear me. There's a lot of words on there that are English, but the top of the card reads Spanish, but I've never read the top of the cards anyway. So don't worry about, oh, it's in Spanish. You don't even look at the word. There is no, that you don't even need to even look at that. You'll learn at the end of the course that you don't need to worry about that. However, if you really want the cards in English, you can sometimes find them online. I don't know if they're available now because they were illegal. They were against the law because there's some naked flesh on there. Can you imagine? We've got pedophilia, we've got child trafficking, we've got more porn than ever. And yet they made these illegal because there's a body. There's a kind of naked body. There's a naked body. So they made them illegal, which then became really, really difficult because to buy this in English, the cards, you just couldn't buy them. You might be able to find a deck for back when I was looking for a deck, they were 2,000 euros for a deck of cards in English. Now I don't know, no idea if they're making them or not. But these are fine. You don't need you don't need. You see everything in the cards. So look. This is as naked as just Carl Rohrig with his obviously liked women's bodies. So yeah, that's it then. Well, guys, I'm wishing you all a lovely day. Thanks for joining me. 100 of you on today, so thanks for joining me. Tonight at 7 o'clock Spain time, which is in 3 hours from now, I'll be also taking my cards out, and I'll be doing the same thing in here. I'll be clicking on that and say, okay, look, like Brendan's on the screen now. I'll attune to a crystal. I'll turn a card over and tell you why that crystal is going to be beneficial for you. It's been a really lovely and enjoyable 1 hour with you all. Thanks for allowing me to have read for some of you. I appreciate it. And thank you for trusting in me reading for you. I appreciate it with all my heart, and I'm wishing you a lovely day. And even if you don't buy the course, I just hope you got something from this, and I wish you a lovely day, all of you. Take care. See you at 7 if you're anywhere around.